One, two, one, two, one, two, three, four. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody.
Good afternoon, or morning, or evening, depending on where you're at in the world. I am Bruce Leonard, of course. Thank you for tuning in to another hour of Bruce Leonard Leans Left, while it's still legal. It's still legal today, but we are, there's so much crazy shit happening, it's hard to keep track of it all. But I'm trying my best to to keep track of it for you so that you don't have to follow everything all the time like me, because it might drive you crazy. It's driving me crazy a little bit. I never thought that I would be sitting here talking about some of these things are so ridiculous that it's hard to believe that a country could fly off the rails so fast. It's like, there's a deal, there's not a deal for this war to end. It's been going on now for almost a week. I think it was Tuesday that Trump was talking right before I came on and was acting like there was a deal made, but there wasn't a deal, as usual. And then today they keep saying, there's a deal made, it's a deal, but Trump has to sign it, but he hasn't signed it. And yesterday, he's in I don't know if you saw that meeting yesterday. The cabinet meeting where they all praised him like it was like North Korea. This woman was like, everyone I meet, they tell me how much they love you, sir. I'm like, have you seen these polls? Where are they hanging out? It's like, I went to the grocery store. Everyone loves you. Hey, Julia, what's up? You duck out early depending on transportation. That's fine. But Laura proved you can listen to me in the car. I'm just kidding. You don't have to do that. But anyway, there's a deal, there's not a deal. And then today I said that all these outlets reporting, there's a deal. It's like, there's not a fucking deal until Donald Trump says, hey, there's a deal, and I signed it. Until then, it's the same shit over and over. It's a deal, it's not a deal. There's a ceasefire, but yet we attacked them and they attacked us. I don't know if you caught that. Yeah, we bombed them again, and then they attacked the air base, but there's a ceasefire. And a deal coming. But there's no deal coming. Don't you know this? It's and if there is a deal, it's going to be all in favor of Iran. Because Trump can talk all the shit he wants, but he doesn't have anything. He's so flustered, he threatened our ally. Have you know Oman? Oman, if you're not aware, is the country on the other side of the Strait of Hormuz. And they're an ally of ours. And Trump said yesterday, well, if they don't behave, we'll have to blow them up. I don't think Trump gets it. He doesn't have enough bombs to blow up everybody. It's like... He already said it's going to take 3 years to replace, at least 3 years, to replace all the bombs that he dropped in Iran. So for 3 years, for the next 2 years, Trump is constrained by the amount of munitions that he has available to him, which is the only fucking good thing, because that's the only thing going to hold him back from doing some more crazy shit. As soon as this Iran thing's over, they're going to Cuba. Don't you know this? I'm sure they think that they could just roll over Cuba real quick, it'd be fine. But I don't think it's going to be that. Nothing has happened the way they said it's going to happen. If you turn on Fox News or all these other things, you would think everything is going great. But everything is not going great. Everything is not great. And if you're willing to pay $6 for gas just to own some liberals, man, I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, you're in a fucking cult. It's like, Trump supporters are like, remember Kevin Bacon in Animal House? When the guy was paddling him, he was like, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" And he's hitting him. He's like, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" Like, that's what the Trump supporters are like. It seems to be no end to the bullshit that they'll take from this guy. You want to hear something crazy? Every president, every single president, right? I think they said since 1970, which would include Richard Nixon, put all their assets in what's called a blind trust, right? So that there was no implication that maybe he was dealing with inside information and trading stocks, right? Yeah, well, Ken, I kind of have to watch it, Fox News, a little bit, because I can't do this show without listening to everything. Yes, Julie, I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fucking wrestling fiasco they're planning for his birthday. Yes, they're building a I don't know if somebody showed me a picture. It was the White House now, when they're building that fucking UFC octagon out in the front, and then it was a picture of Idiocracy, where it was the White House and it had like a what do you call it, above ground pool in the front of it, and it was like you couldn't help but notice like the similarity. Oh, I don't know if you saw this. they were gonna have a concert, a big concert for the 250th, the 250th anniversary of the country that Trump has been doing, and they called it the Great American State Fair. They called it, and then they put out the lineup of all the fucking star-studded event that they're having. All icons. It's icons. It's going to be Martina McBride, Young MC. Remember him? CNC Music Factory. Remember them? Vanilla Ice. Milli Vanilli. The Commodores. Morris Day at the Time. Florida. And Bret Michaels. There was a lineup, right? Well, it wasn't even an hour before when this was released. And Morris Day was like, "I'm not fucking doing it." So Morris Day at the Time canceled. Then this morning, here, I'll read you the releases. This morning, this is Young MC. "I have informed my agents I will not be performing at the Freedom 250 event. The artists were never told about any political involvement with the event. And despite the claims by the organizers that the event is nonpartisan, Spin Magazine describes it as Trump-backed. So I hope to perform in D.C. in the near future at an event that is not so politically charged." And then right before I came on, this is the official statement from the real Milli Vanilli regarding Freedom 250. The original real vocalists of Milli Vanilli, Jody Rocco, Linda Rocco, Brad Howell, John Davis, and Charles Shaw will not be performing their hits live at the Great American State Fair. Others using the name Milli Vanilli that appear on the advertisement should be considered a tribute band with no association vocally or musically to our sound or our songs. Milli Vanilli was one of the most popular music groups in the late 80s and early 90s. Their first album, All or Nothing, sold over 8 million copies worldwide, and all of the singles released from the album made it into the Billboard Hot 100's top 5. Girl, You Know It's True, I'm Gonna Miss You, Blame It on the Rain, and Baby, Don't Forget My Number. The group was put together by music producer Frank Farian, also behind other groups such as Boney M., LaBouche, and No Mercy, and used vocals from singers Brad Howell, John Davis, Jody Rocco, Linda Rocco, and Charles Shaw, who will not be performing at the thing. So it's not even Milli Vanilli. It's a Milli Vanilli tribute band. What's next? Mini Kiss. But you know who's going to come to the rescue? Kid Rock going to come to the rescue. Yes, it's Julius, and then Tom Morello put together a show. He's got him. He's got Bruce Springsteen. He's got Foo Fighters. He's got Cypress Hill. I hope it's at the same time because you envision that show having like 500,000 people, and then that state fair thing be like 10,000 people. It's Milli Vanilli. It's like, they don't look like Milli Vanilli. Like, and who the fuck is doing a Milli Vanilli tribute act across this country? Playing all the state fairs and chili cook-offs. It's, and I don't know if you saw a picture, but like these people are coming to the White House to go to the UFC fight, right? And right next to that is a big giant hole in the fucking ground where he tore up the. I mean, you can't make this up. How fucking stupid. Laura says Trump will probably pay people to attend. Yeah, right? He said there'd be 4,000 people sitting around out there watching that UFC fight. Now, how much you think he's charging for that? You have to pay Trump. You have to put personally money in Trump's pocket. That's right. As he stands at the gate. Kate Capman says, Chili Manili. Julia said, I was a carny for a few months back in the early 90s. Even actually played state fairs back then were light years better. Yeah, because they get like Cheap Trick and it's a lot of those bands that did this, Kansas, bands like that. They did that state fair circuit, for years. If you get like Molly Hatchet. There's always a band that plays at they have fireworks on the 4th of July in Blue Ash. And there's always a band. Last year it was ZZ Top. This year, or the year before that, it was Cheap Trick, or whatever. Cheap Trick played there several times, but yeah, they couldn't even get those guys. Nobody. This is what they were talking about on the news last night. They were talking about the Justice Department and how many lawyers have left the Justice Department, and now how they're having such a hard time hiring lawyers because they're like, think about if you're a lawyer, you just got out of law school. Do you want on your resume that you worked for the Trump administration? Because he's only going to be here for 2.5 more years, but that's solely your name for life. For life. Laura says if Bret Michaels is involved, it's B-list. That's what I'm saying. Kid Rock is B-list now, but they keep trying to pretend like he's A-list. But he's like, Kid Rock is not A-list. Kid Rock is not playing, like, you don't see Kid Rock playing at that festival that was just in Columbus. We had Tool and all those bands. They had Power Man 5000. Remember them? That's Rob Zombie's brother. But, they had, one hit. I can't remember the name of it. But, yeah, Julia says George Thorogood and the Destroyers are popular at state fairs back then. Yeah, exactly. He's like, bad in the bone. I was surprised they didn't have Lee Greenwood on the lineup. You know what's gonna happen? So many artists gonna drop off. They won't be able to get no artists. We're gonna have to listen to Laura Trump. Have you seen that? Laura Trump singing? It's fucking awful. It's one of the most horrible things you've ever seen. Meanwhile, while this is going on, right? Inflation is up 3.5%. Right? Inflation is officially up over wage growth. That's what's called stagflation, which leads to recession most of the time. Laura says, the Kid Rock even released any new music in the past decade? Not that I'm aware of. I don't think he's released anything since he released that Remember those songs where he had like Werewolf of London? Like it wasn't even him. It was like samples. Julia says, I think they're trying to appeal to the black Republican voters. No, here's my question. Do they really believe that they could get away with lying to these artists? They'll be like, oh, yeah, it's totally nonpartisan. Oh, yeah, no, this has nothing to do with Trump. It's like, and they think that they're not going to find out or they're not going to know. So here's another thing you might not know. So remember, Trump slapped his name on the Kennedy Center, right? And so now it's the Donald J. Trump and John F. Kennedy Memorial Center, which immediately caused artists to drop out of that too. So the attendance went down, dropped off the map, so they closed the place. They're talking about they're going to do a renovation. Well, there's a lawsuit going on right now about him slapping his name on the building because it was illegal. It's illegal for him to name anything. Congress names those buildings, not Donald Trump. It's illegal. So there's a lawsuit, right? And so they're filing in the lawsuit. They said, I swear to God, this is what they said. They said, if you take Trump's name off of it, it'll lose money and go broke. Which is exactly what it did when he put his name on it. They lost all the talent. And you can't fucking make this shit up, man. So here's another thing you might not know. While all this is going on, there's a war going on, right? Inflation is up higher than fucking wage growth, which is stagflation, they call it, which leads to recession 99.9% of the fucking time, right? Oil prices are at record high. You're paying $5 a gallon for gas, right? Food inflation up 3.5%. So everything's more expensive for you. We're running a deficit that's higher than the GDP. For the first time since the 1940s, we're borrowing $160 billion a day just to operate. I'm getting ready to say that, Julia. And there, you like read my mind. This is what I'm leading to. And instead of working on solving these problems, they proposed a $250 bill with Donald Trump's face on it, which is also illegal because there's a specific law that says only dead people go on the money. Well, they got that covered. You know how? What they said? They got legislation already written up to change the law so that they can put Trump's face on a $250 bill. Now, how many of you out there? I'm not calling you broke, but I'm saying to you, how many of you are rich enough to be carrying around $250 bills in your wallet? When you go to the grocery store, oh, I'm sorry, do you have change for a $250? I want to buy a Mountain Dew. You would think, hey, Hassan, you would think that people would be more outraged. Like I said before, if this was France, you would be, yes, Hassan, $250 Trump. And if they make it, I said, I want to go. I want to get one. If they do make it, I'm going to get one. I'm going to go to wherever I can find the most Trumpy fucking places that you can find. I'm going to go into some town down in South Kentucky where they're all Trump supporters. I'm going to go in their little store. Like I said, be like, I'm going to buy this Coke. Do you have change for a $250? And then when they don't, I'm going to go off. Right, Julie? Julie says, at the rate this is going, it's going to take $250 to fill up the fucking gas tank. I'm really looking right now, today. I really want there to be some Trump supporter that's watching this show right now that can tell me that you're okay with this shit. Just tell me that it's all okay. This is America first. Not to mention the reflecting pool. And now he's talking about he wants to change the fountain at the World War II Memorial. And he wants to build this triumphal arch. It's the biggest arch it's ever been. He's already getting sued for that. Because here's the deal, which I did not know. Arlington National Cemetery, right, where they keep all the military dead people, right, is buttressed on either side by memorials. The Lincoln Memorial on this side. And on the other side is a memorial to Robert E. Lee. And the space between them is open so that they face each other because it was meant to show unity after the Civil War. Trump wants to build this big-ass fucking arch right in the middle. It blocks the view of both places. Not to mention how much that might cost. And to do this, because that's not legal either, really, but to do it, he dug out some law from like 1902 where the Congress authorized some kind of thing, and he said, because they authorized this in 1902, that means I can just do this now without permission from the Congress. Where are you going to get the money for it? Congress appropriates money, not the president. Or at least that's how the Constitution's supposed to work. Apparently, Trump thinks that taxpayer money is just his own personal bank that he can just go in whenever he wants, fucking build a barroom, build a fucking, whatever. Hassan says Trump is a running joke. That is true. Not very funny if you live here. It was like today, right before I came out here, there was a story. Hold on. I'll show it to you. And said that they were trying to go after people on the internet who criticized. Say, good luck. There's fucking billion of us. So the Justice Department is intensifying efforts to identify anonymous social media users who have criticized government deportation policies, issuing grand jury subpoenas to Reddit and X, demanding names, addresses, and banking information. Like I said when I posted it, was like, bitch, I ain't anonymous. My name is Bruce Leonard, and your fucking immigration policy sucks. And I'm willing. I'm willing to bite the bullet for saying it. For freedom, goddammit. Hassan said yesterday he said he would blow up Amman. Yeah, I know. I was talking about that. Must have been before you logged on. But Hassan says, dude, I'm from Bahrain. The war he started, we were on the receiving end of it. Yeah, no, I know. I'm sorry. Hassan said, yeah, that's what a dictatorship is like. Yes, exactly. That's my point. And right now, yes, Julia says, I'm so sorry, Hassan, and I am too. I apologize on behalf of all fucking Americans with sanity left in their brains. Yes, you should have been drug into this. And it's not over yet. It could happen again. Because like I said, there ain't no fucking deal. He keeps saying this. He's been saying it now for a month. And I don't know why these news outlets keep fucking running to the press release thing and releasing anything he fucking says. Because he lies constantly. There is no fucking deal. He's been saying they've been begging to make a deal for fucking 2 months now. He keeps saying there's going to be a deal for the last fucking month. The last week here, it's intensified. He keeps saying, oh, yeah, there's going to be a deal. It's almost... And then, like I said, today they attack each other. So how are you going to tell me there's going to be a deal and you're attacking each other? And then they said, oh, it was defensive strikes. Like, well, why do we have to have defensive strikes against a military that we've already obliterated and crushed, they say. Because that's a lie, too. They're not crushed or obliterated. If anything, Iran is stronger than they were before. And like I said, you could talk all this shit you want about, oh, they destroyed their Navy boats and all. Yeah, they did. They weren't a naval power to begin with. Their power lies in the geography, the proximity of where they're at, and all the oil they're sitting on, and like I said, the Strait of Hormuz that they now control, which they did not control before this fucking started. And they're not going to get back to control now. That's what I'm saying is they're better off than they were before. The people say, oh, they need a nuclear weapon. They don't need a nuclear weapon. They have it now. The Strait of Hormuz. They can choke off the world whenever they want. And there ain't no way to stop that. So, like I said, he's going to have to give them what they fucking want. He's going to wind up signing a deal that's worse than the deal he tore up. That's the other part of this that people keep. These Trump humpers that say, oh, Trump he thinks so far ahead, he's playing 5D chess. No, he's a petulant child. He tore up the deal that they had in place, which caused them to enrich their uranium to 90%. They couldn't do that before. When you tore up the deal, Iran kicked all the inspectors out. They kicked the enrichment up. They went from 60% to 90-something%. They were almost at a nuclear bomb. Because Trump tore up the fucking deal. Then he bombed them, said they're obliterated. Then 6 months later, we got to go to war. Because they can't have a nuclear weapon, even though you obliterated their, it's like the whole thing is. Hassan says, I know, I couldn't believe that people who have ability to vote still vote for this clown. Isn't there a half-sane replacement? No! That's the other part. This is the part that's infuriating to me if you watch TV like in America, right? They've already started talking about what happens when Trump is gone, and they're like, well, who inherits the mega? And they're like, is it going to be Marco Rubio? Is it going to be J.D. Vance? And I'm going, any motherfucker that worked for him should be kicked out and ran out of politics for the rest of their fucking lives. All these nutlickers that are in Congress, they should be voted out. They should be shunned in their towns that they live in their districts that they're supposed to represent. They should be run out. This is the only way to free ourselves from this plague. And like I said before, or maybe I said it on my Blue Sky, and I tweeted it on my social media, but maybe I didn't say it here. But if you're a Republican, right, you might not like the left. You might not like all the things the left says or does, right? You might not be, you might not want to vote for a Democrat. That's fine. Don't. Just stay home. Don't vote at all. I can see you don't want to bite your tongue and vote for a Democrat. That's good. Just don't vote. There's so many Democrats and independents are going to vote. If you don't vote, you'll be ran out. All these Republicans are going to be gone. Hopefully. Now, there are places like Oklahoma, Texas, where, all these, that's when you know it's a cult. Because like I said, there's not an objective statistical measure of anything that you can point to that says Donald Trump is doing a good job as president. This war is a cluster bumblefuck of epic proportion. The whole world economy has been fucking tanked. We're on the road to recession, most likely. The world probably going to go into a recession because of this. This isn't COVID. And now Ebola is breaking out, and Trump cut all the fucking things that took us out of the World Health Organization. Now the Ebola epidemic down is getting out of control. And they're scared because they said they don't want to bring no one back to the United States that has Ebola, so they're going to make them go to Kenya. Now imagine that. You got Ebola, and you're an American, and you go, well, that's okay. I'll go home and get the most top-notch care that I can get, and I'll be okay maybe. And they go, no, you're going to Kenya. Well, you know, Kenya, they got top-notch. You're in fucking trouble. Julia says, I have coworkers who believe the narrative that pallets of actual cash were given to Iran by the Obama administration. I learned that today. I asked where they got that info, and they said, Google it. Yeah, right. Hassan in Bahrain says, he tanked our economy too. We can't ship oil because of him. No, that's what I'm saying is Americans are stupid and selfish, so they're only considering what's happening to us, but other countries are getting hit too by this. This is a terrible decision. Everyone told him not to do it. Julia says, yeah, they're treating Americans in Germany for Ebola also. Yeah, exactly. And Germans should have told him to fuck off. After what he's done and talk about them, so he's going to cut troops out of Germany. You know, fuck that. That was another bumblefuck thing. Did you see that? Heck, Pete Hegseth was trying to make a point, I guess, to NATO and Europe. So he's like, we're taking troops out of Europe. He's like, we're taking 5,000 troops out of Poland, Poland is like a strong ally of ours, and it's the buffer between Russia and the rest of Europe. And as they have suffered for that reason. But Trump was like, what are you doing? And he's like, no, putting 5,000 troops into Poland. Which just proves to you that this is a bumblefuck operation from top to bottom. Why is Hegseth announcing publicly things that Trump didn't sign off on? And why is Trump got to fucking go around and fix the problems that Hegseth did, and he doesn't get in trouble? He's not going to get fired or nothing. He's just going to, that's what I'm saying is this is what we're stuck with. Trump's out of nut liquors, and he's losing people all the time. And the cult is getting smaller and smaller. And it's only 2.5 years in. It's going to just continue to get smaller and smaller because his policies are terrible. Not only hurt us, it hurt everybody else in the world. He's alienated us from all our allies. All the big countries like China and Russia, they know he's a bumblefuck idiot. He's insulted every single world leader that came. Hassan says, you guys got stuck with the crazy ones. Yeah, exactly. It's just a shame that we're the richest, most powerful country in the world. Ken says, and tomorrow there'll be another one. No, that's what I'm saying. As soon as he's done with this Iran thing, he's going after Cuba next. That's going to happen. But they think, too, that the Cubans are just going to lay down, but they're not. They're not going to. And then, I don't know if Trump knows this because he doesn't seem to know much about world history, but Cuba been fighting against us for quite a long time and has been successful at it. Right? It kept us out. We haven't, Cuba's always been there. We could have went down there. Hassan says, anyone with more than 2 brain cells got fired. Yes. I've said that on this show numerous times. Like that's the one thing he did this time that he didn't do last time was he went in and they fired everybody. And that's what Doge was all about too. Cleaning out everybody out of the government that wasn't a loyal, groveling, fucking piece of shit, nut liquor, yes man, that would do anything that Donald Trump says. And he replaced them all with dumbass motherfuckers that are only there because they suck up to Donald Trump. And now he's running out of them. I don't know who's going to be the Attorney General because I don't think Todd Bland's going to make it. He certainly isn't going to get confirmed now with all these senators in the Senate that don't like Trump. The ones that he primaried out and shit, like John Cornyn, Bill Cassidy, or is Cassidy in the House? No, I think Cassidy's a senator. He's a doctor. That he bowed down to Trump and confirmed RFK Jr., even though he knew that RFK Jr. is a fucking idiot, to run health And he still got primaried out of his seat. He ain't gonna fucking vote for Todd Blanche. Neither is Tom Tillis. No, Trump's gonna have a hard time getting anything done in the Congress now because he's pissed off so many people. And this will tell you how disingenuous shitbags, how big of disingenuous shitbags the Republican Party really is, right? For years and years and years, they've been going after Ken Paxton because he's a corrupt piece of shit in Texas. But for some reason, Ken Paxton keeps surviving. I'll give him that. He's like a political cockroach. It's like you can't kill him. He just keeps surviving. But anyway, so Trump endorsed him in the runoff against Cornyn, and he won handily, right? Because it was just a small electorate of Trump nutlickers that were voting. So they do whatever he says because that's his cult. He's got a cult. So the Republican Party had all these ads that they attack Ken Paxton and talk about what a piece of shit he is, right? But now that he's the nominee, they went online, started scrubbing all those, deleting them. Because now Ken Paxton's a good guy. And again, they could have solved their own problem. If they really hated Ken Paxton that bad, they could have impeached him. But they didn't because Trump called all those senators and state senators in Texas and talked him out of whatever he does. He talked him out of convicting him in his impeachment trial. Or he got enough that they weren't going to get. Hassan says, with all the money you got and all the tax you pay, you still can't vote for a quality of life for you. All you get is more funding for worse here and there. What a sad reality. Yes. Yes. It is. It is. Especially when you see people going, oh, people like Megyn Kelly calling out all the terrible things that Trump does and going, but I still won't vote for a Democrat. And that's the real problem. Because the truth is the Democrat Party ain't that great. If they had, like Tallarico, Julia says Tallarico's going to clean the floor with Paxton. I don't know about that. I'm not trying to get ahead of myself on that and get my hopes all built up because it's fucking Texas. I thought Beto O'Rourke could beat Ted Cruz. He lost by 2%. But Ted Cruz won. And that was after Ted Cruz abandoned them in that storm and went to Cancun. They still fucking voted for him, which I have talked about that on this show. It's like a mental illness. But Trump has fucked up everything so bad that it's hard to justify that people, like I said, if you're a Republican and you don't want to vote for a Democrat, that's fine. Just stay home. Don't vote at all. And I've never told people not to vote. And I'm not telling you, don't vote, It's up to you if you want to vote. But if you're going to go and vote for Republicans after this, it's like this stupid Ohio politics page I've been following. All that they do on this page, I swear to God, is bitch and complain about the policies of the state of Ohio and how fucking terrible they are, right? But then you point out to them, hey, you've had a Republican trifecta government since the 1990s. These are your people who are enacting these shitty policies. Yet you just keep going to vote Republican. Just vote Republican harder and everything will get better. You're like, it's not going to get better. And you just keep voting for the same people that are fucking you over. And then bitching about it on Facebook. It's like a mental illness, like I said. You turn on, especially if you turn on AM radio here, you listen to these fucking guys, you think that Trump is the greatest thing that ever walked the earth and everything is great. And you're like, dude, everything is not great. This is the problem, is we become so tribal that there's even if your tribe sucks, you still clinging to that. Who's better than them, Paxton already started trying to attack Tallarico, and you think he's attacking him about his policies, or Paxton's like showing his plan of what he's going to do to help people? No, they're calling him a transgender and a vegan, and and saying he wants to mutilate children. And you know what? I was because I saw one of those bullshit ads where they said, so and so voted to give money to give sex change operations to little children, and I was like, man, you know what? I've never really looked into it that hard. It was just my supposition that they wouldn't give someone a sex change operation until after they went through puberty. Just as someone who's a casual fan of science and biology. So I was like, oh, look it up. Let's check it out. Let's look at the U.S. Medical Association, the medical surgeons of America, all this stuff. Nobody gives sex change operations to children. No one. It's against medical codes. You have to wait till they go through fucking puberty. So that whole thing is a lie, all of it. But people still listen and they fucking believe it. And why are they allowed to lie like this in political ads? There's a lot of things that need to be done when this is over, but there's a lot of laws that need to be passed. The president is trading stocks. Like, I didn't finish that part because we got sidetracked. Every president since 1970 put their money into a blind trust, so there was not even the perception that they could be trading illegal, trading on. They make deals with everybody. But Trump, he didn't put his stuff into a blind trust. Now they keep claiming that some outside firms are handling all of his trades, and he has nothing to do with it. But he's just giving a speech talking about, go buy a Dell computer. And he fucking he bought $4 million in Dell stock. Right? This is public knowledge. He bought $4 million in Dell stock. Then he went out on the presidential podium giving a speech and told everybody, go buy a Dell computer. And then today, Dell Computer got a $10 billion Pentagon contract for software or something. They said, oh, we was a competitive bid and they won. This corruption is just so brazen. You never see anything like it. Now, that should be fucking illegal. Now, it's not illegal. There's no law or rule that says presidents have to put their money into a blind trust. That's why he wasn't forced to do it. But everyone has done it since 1970 because it's what they call a norm. Well, Trump doesn't give a fuck about norms. He's blown through all these norms. He's done everything that should be illegal but isn't. Every loophole he can find to enrich himself from being president of the United States, he has found, and he has tripled his net worth since he's been in office. That should be illegal. There's rumors that this on-again, off-again war with Iran all the time is just so they can manipulate the oil price and make money off of it. That's a rumor that goes around. I'm not saying that's true. You could definitely see how it's within the realm of possibility. Julia says, we came in for supplies for custodians. How the fuck could we possibly give kids gender reassignment surgery? Not even that. I'm just saying, you won't find a doctor who will give a child a sex change operation because you can't give someone a sex change operation until after they go through puberty. Because if you give someone a sex change operation before they go through puberty and then they start going through puberty, it's going to fuck them up. Real bad. Because if you're a boy that wants to be a girl, all of a sudden you're going to be flooded with testosterone. It's kind of pointless, don't you think? And anyone that's even have a high school biology education should know this. But people don't in this country. Why? Because they're fucking stupid. Like Julia said, they can't even give the supplies to the custodians. What kind of books you think these kids got? How good do you think these teachers are that they don't pay a shit? You know. I saw there's a chick that's on Instagram. They said she was a special needs teacher for children. Right? For years and years she was in special eds. She said she loved it, but she was broke all the time. Now she's like an Instagram, adult person. I don't know, does OnlyFans and shit like that. I don't know, but I just saw it was a story about her that was flashing by, and I was reading it, and they said there's lots of girls like this, people who are nurses, people who are teachers, that they just couldn't make a living. So now they take pictures on Instagram. They make 5 times more money than they ever made before in their life. But who suffers? The special needs kids that she would be taking care of. Right? Who's taking care of those people? Well, everybody says that they don't want to do that job because it fucking doesn't pay anything. And then what do you get from that? You get the shittiest possible care you could for these children. This society is crumbling. And the rich people are just picking up all the fucking cash. They're just leaving us all out here to hang. People like Hassan and Bahrain are the ones who are paying the price. We're paying the price too. But it's not just us. Donald Trump is a menace to the whole planet. Not just us. And I said a thing. I said, he's bombed or threatened to bomb 1 out of every 13 countries in this world. He's still got 2.5 years to go. It could be 1 out of 5 before it's over with. And there's people in this country who would still crawl through broken glass to vote Republican. Julia says it's unethical to perform selective surgeries on minors. They won't do it. Elective, not selective. You're right, exactly. It's not even that. It's just the nature of the operation. It's a sex change operation. You can't change your sex before you go through puberty, become an adult. Because like I said, it is reverse. If you're a boy trying to become a girl, right, and they give you an operation, right, but when you get about 15, you're gonna start trying real hard to become a man again. Your body's gonna start flooding you with testosterone, all kinds of other shit, because your body doesn't know that you changed your sex. Body, if you're a male, that's the one thing that they do have right. Your body. You can't tell your body, okay, I want to be a girl now, and then stop pumping the hormones. That's why you gotta take estrogen and all this other stuff. It ain't gonna do you no good if your body's just fighting against it because you're going through puberty. So the very notion that sex change operations are performed on children is bullshit. It's just like telling somebody about the boogeyman or something. That's the level of reality. There's none. There is none. You can't find a child that they gave the sex change operation to because it's against the medical ethics code. Like I said, I looked into it, but you see these things all the time on political ads, on the news, on Fox News. They just fucking lie. Julia says puberty blockers are fully reversible, but will help a transgender person until they reach age of consent. Yes, for sure, but they still have to let them go through the puberty. Ramon says, my wife constantly suspects me of cheating on her with her bestie, but it's actually another girl. How do I convince her to see a therapist? Right? He's like, I'm not bagging your best friend. It's bagging fucking Stacy down the hall. You're crazy. in that situation, dude, you might as well just get a divorce, bro. It's like, why you even married? What's it? I never understood that. Why people want to intentionally put themselves through, because if you really are sleeping around on your wife, it can't be a good marriage. Yeah. So why would you want to spend the majority of your time in a situation that's just terrible and unhappy? I don't do what some of these people do, like you see on TV. It's like, oh, you killed his wife. It's like, just get a divorce, dude. It's like, I know it's a fucking hassle, but going to prison seems worse. That's right, Laura. It's terrible. I do the Shaggy, like, it wasn't me. It's a video. It wasn't me. It's like... I never understood that. My dad did it all the time. It was like, dude, it does nothing but cause trouble. It's like, and you don't look happy. Running around in various places, multiple women trying to kill you. I never got it. I didn't understand. It's like, it's not a way to live. I don't like fighting and drama and shit. I'm not into any of that. Like, I just want to chill, man. I've been through all that. I didn't enjoy it then. Let's say. And I certainly don't enjoy it now that I'm older. I'm older. I'm chilled out. Calm down. Like, hey, man, calm out, dude. Chill. It's like the world is falling apart. Like the only thing you could hold on to is your life. And try to make it as good and enjoyable as possible, because all this other shit is going to shit. And I said, and if you look at the people, there's not much hope that they're gonna take their heads out of their ass all of a sudden and figure this out. It's like, at all. It's like, right now they're decimating 60 Minutes. How do you know that? Barry Weiss fired everybody. She fired the executive producer, 60 Minutes. She fired that reporter that did remember when there was a story about the Seacott prison that they were going to air on 60 Minutes. And then the last second, that Barry Weiss chick swooped in and said, no, you can't air this because it wasn't ran by the Trump people enough. And then Julie says, gee, let's see, give her half my property or spend the rest of my life in prison. Think I'll give her half my shit. Yeah, exactly. Whenever I see those stories, it's like, it's got to suck. Get a divorce, got to suck. To have to give away half of your shit or whatever and have a fight over all that or what, that's got to suck. But like I said, yeah, you know what sucks worse? Going to fucking prison. Or some of these guys are like 3 or 4 times. You ever seen those stories? Like that guy that was what was his name? Drew Peterson, the cop. What's his name? Drew Peterson. He fucking there was like a Lifetime movie where Rob Lowe played him. We had like 3 wives. They all died under mysterious circumstances, and then he got caught on the 4th one, I think. And then they dug up the other ones and figured out that he killed them. But I'm thinking to myself, dude, here's a guy. Every time he gets married. It's like, oh, yeah, that's Drew Peterson. Oh, that's his wife. Yeah, oh, yeah, he had a wife before. She fell down the stairs. And then he had another wife that... she died mysteriously in her sleep. It's like, this is wife number 3. It's like, how does this guy keep getting away with this? You'd think that it would get suspicious that, the first time you're like, oh, this is a tragedy. Second time, it's like, oh, man, Man, this guy's really bad luck, man. It's tragic. This guy's life is like schlep rock with the fucking black cloud over him. Third wife, you're like, come on, man. You fucking shitting me? There ain't no fucking way. Julie says Scott Peterson. Maybe Scott Peterson was the guy that took his wife fishing. His pregnant wife. Well, no, I'm sorry. His pregnant wife disappeared, and then he went fishing. Come find out he had a girlfriend and all this other shit. He keeps saying he's innocent, and there was people not long ago that were like trying to file appeals. It's like, well, he's innocent. Come on, man. It's like, you go fishing while your wife is missing, unless you got a C block in him. Some hefty bags in the fishing boat. He's not innocent. Come on. These guys that say that all the time. Well, I know that I went fishing and she was missing, and I know that I had a secret girlfriend and I didn't tell you about it. And I lied the whole time about it, and I know that this looks suspicious. But I swear I didn't kill my wife. Come the fuck on. It's like, you it's a fucking bullshit me. Fucking full of shit. I mean, these people, they said that it's like Ted Bundy. Remember, you watch that Ted Bundy thing? Ted Bundy, yeah, Julie says, didn't they find the pregnant wife floating in a cooler? Something like that. And Ted Bundy, they didn't tell you what these people are like. Because for years and years and years, remember Ted Bundy was like, I'm innocent. I'm totally innocent. Completely innocent. And then right before he was about to go to death row, he was trying to buy himself a stay of execution. He was like, well, I'll start telling you where all the bodies are. If you he's like whispering to the guy. And then I cut off her head and I took it down. It's like, yeah, you fucking did all this shit. I tell you that movie. You ever seen that movie with Sean Penn? What's that called? Susan Sarandon plays that nun. It's called Dead Man Walking, and he does the same thing. The whole movie, she's trying to pray with him and like save his soul because he's gonna get executed, and he keeps lying the whole time he's lying. And he's like, I didn't do it. I'm innocent. I'm completely innocent. And then at the end, when he's about to go to death row, walk to the electric chair. He's like, yeah, sister, I did it. I fucking did it. I killed him. You can't fucking believe these guys. They're fucking lying sacks of shit. You ever seen that Netflix, Julia, you ever see the Netflix thing about the guy in Colorado that killed his family? That shit is fucked up. That tells you how fucked up people are. This guy killed his family, his wife, and his kids, took them out, dumped them in like an oil tank somewhere, and then went back home, and then walked over to his neighbors, and for some reason the neighbors, I guess they said they were suspicious of him already. They knew that he had killed his family, so they turned on a camera. And he comes over to their fucking house and he fucking gives this whole performance about, I don't know what would happen. I don't know where she would go or take the kids. And he fucking knows that he killed his fucking family. It just shows you that you can't trust motherfuckers, man. Because they will lie right in your fucking face about the most heinous shit. It's like Trump. Anybody that believes that Trump is telling the truth at this point about any fucking thing there's something wrong with you. Yeah, well, there's a movie. I forget what it's called. But you know that case, right? There's a guy in Colorado. He killed his wife and his two kids. And I said he took him and he dumped him in like an oil tank. But then, like I said, he went home and for like 2 days walked around giving this performance, talking to the reporters on TV, talking to the neighbors. You know, it's all on tape. You just watch this guy just fucking lie his ass off. And then at the end, he fucking takes the cops to where he fucking put them. It's like I said. Fucking horrible. So John Wayne Gacy, same way. John Wayne Gacy never really admitted that he did all those things. He kept saying, "Oh, it's a plant." It's like, yeah, somebody planted 16 bodies in the basement. He went to fucking death saying that shit. He never did admit that he did it. He kept saying, "Oh, it's a conspiracy against me." And it's people. They planted evidence. Somebody broke into his house, buried 16 bodies in his basement. And yeah, I thought the house smelled funny, but you know, I didn't know. It's fucking ridiculous. And Trump is on that level of like lying, narcissistic fucking piece of shit sociopath who just lies right in your fucking face. And the media has normalized it like it's okay. That's why when you see Trump, he's not a human being. He doesn't have feelings like a normal person. His son got married, he didn't even go. This is true. And you know this? His son married, who do you think he married? Jeffrey Epstein's banker's daughter. Whoa! Really? Oh, yeah, but they were not friends, and they didn't. It's amazing how fucking stupid all of this really is, and that people keep just taking it like it's okay. You know, this country, like I said, this country should be on fire right now. Not to mention the fact that, did you hear this? He went after E. Jean Carroll. You know this? He started a criminal investigation against E. Jean Carroll. If you don't know who E. Jean Carroll is, she's that magazine columnist who accused Trump of sexual assault and won. And then sued him for defamation because he fucking ripped her character all in the press and won $80 million for defamation. Now he's coming after her. Now, a lot of people would say, well, what do I care about that? But this is why I tell you that you go along with this at your own fucking peril. Because what you're talking about is the president of the United States using the power of the state to go after people he doesn't like. That's tin pot dictator shit. This is not part of American freedom, Constitution, love, or whatever the fuck you call yourselves or used to call yourselves. You're a bunch of bootlicking fucking pussies, you ask me. If you would allow this to happen. I don't care how you feel about E. Jean Carroll personally or whatever. The very idea that you would allow the president of the United States to use the power of the state to settle personal scores against people, ruin people's lives, send them to jail maybe. Now, they suck at this, and they're going to lose a court again because she'll just call it selective prosecution, and there's lists and reams and reams and reams of tweets and video of Donald Trump saying that he wants to go after her. But the point is that it's his petty revenge. She's got to like get a lawyer now. She's got to pay money. You know, she's got to go to court. You know, it's revenge. She should just send a bill to him. He owes her $80 million. Be like, why don't you pay this legal bill? Julia says John Wayne Gacy met his demise about 20 minutes from me at Menard Correctional Center. Oh, yeah, cool. You should have went. That motherfucker deserved it. Julian says, or go after people he owes money to, who spend more money litigating than what he owes. Yeah, exactly. Nobody owes Trump money. Trump owes money all over town. Trump's like Bunny Lebowski. He owes money all over town. Sure, he's the president of the United States, but it's my surmise, because like here's an example. That reflecting pool job that they're doing now, he said at first it would cost $2 million, right? Now it's up to $20 million. $20 million. You know who's doing the job? The company that cleans his golf courses. Right? They said they don't even know how to do the fucking real job. I swear to God. You're going to spend $20 million on this, and the actual problem that they were trying to fix will not be fixed because they don't know how to fix it. They're not qualified to do that kind of work. Just paying them $20 basically to paint it blue. Anyway, it's my surmise that he owed these people a lot of money. That he didn't pay his bills. And now he's like, now I can use the taxpayers' money to pay them all this money that I owe him, and it won't cost me a dime. He probably has $10, $15 million in back bills that he owes these guys. Julia said, yeah, no, I was saying that too. I was wondering that too. She said, I wonder how much you're going to stiff all the contractors for the WWE cage construction. Yeah, exactly. I thought that as well. But he won't do that because him and Dana White are friends. They'll find some way to overpay for it, and then they'll split the money or some shit. Because Dana White's piece shit too. It's like, although I never heard of Dana White like not paying his bills, you know, or paying people that work for him. And like I said, I did a lot of UFC fights in Vegas, and their employees all seemed happy. They didn't seem like, you know, they get stiffed on their paychecks or anything. Like, everybody's well taken care of. So I guess I'm wrong for saying that. I should. Dana White's an asshole. How's that? Like, he slapped his wife and all. He's a dick, right? But I don't think that he's like I said, a shyster. Like, I don't think he could have built the UFC as big as it is being a shyster. UFC brand is way stronger than Trump brand ever was. All Trump brand ever was him slapping his name on shit. You know, he tried everything. Trump Airlines, Trump Steaks, Trump Water, Trump Trump Hotels, Trump Casino bankrupt. It's like, it's never been. Most of those brands failed, you know. There's way more failure in Trump. That's what I said. Trump was fake rich until he became president. This saved him. His whole life was spent grifting and owing people money and running from one thing to another and trying one thing after another that just failed, went bankrupt. His whole life would have probably collapsed if he didn't get into politics. And now he figured out how to use the presidency to actually make himself rich. And now he's not fake rich anymore. Now he's got rich. I mean, he's rich on paper, again, but most of it is crypto and bullshit, ridiculous, you know. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Listen, if you just stumbled on this show today, Julia says if he could, Dum Dum would have his name and lighten stamped into slices of processed cheese. Trump singles. You're probably right. Anyway, if you just stumbled on this show today, I'm here every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. I'd like to thank people like Hassan, our friend from Bahrain, sorry, who pop in and hang out with us for a while. Like I said, every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. If you want to send me a private message, it's Bruce Leonard Leans Left at Outlook.com. I'll be back on Saturday, and maybe Daniele Bolelli will be here. I'm not sure. I haven't spoken to him, but he comes sometimes on Saturdays. And please go out tonight. I said, enjoy yourself or watch a basketball game or whatever you're going to do. And I'll see you on Saturday, 6 p.m. Thank you very much. Good night. I guarantee I'd be the first to be standing there bathed in that light. Until that day I'll keep my eyes shut tight.
do not want to pick a fight. I feel more at night.